What's up guys, Brendan here with a bit of an unorthodox video compared to my select few that have actual substance. Today we start a series of videos, a quest to beat the expansive story mode in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In said mode, you adventure through a dead world littered with the spirits of dead characters wiped out by Galen's meme-inducing Thanos moment in the reveal trailer for the mode. It's a great way to look back upon gaming history and truly appreciate everything the industry has done for us today, and will do heading into the future. We're not getting sentimental here today, my friends, because cool guys don't look back at explosions. Can you beat Super Smash Bros. Ultimate World of Light without voluntarily turning around? I say series because there is tons, and I really do mean tons of stuff to cover here. Firstly, just what is a voluntarily turnaround? As defined by me, a voluntary turnaround is any action carried out by the player that causes their character to face the opposite direction of where they were facing before. For example, turning around, yes, that's obviously a turnaround. Also, F smashes, F tilts, rolls in a forward direction, back throws but only some, side specials, a few back airs, and even a few double jumps are banned. Also banned are the uses of B reverses, wave bounces, and anything else cool that I'm too bad to pull off yet that result in an opposite facing fighter. There are two ways to turn around, however: getting hit and grabbing ledges. These are both automatic actions that, when presented with a specific situation, will result in the character turning around naturally. Movement otherwise is pretty simple: walking or running forwards, rolling backwards, which does not result in a turnaround, and maneuvering in the air, as all two jump characters are locked into the original direction they are facing until they either touch the ground or perform a technique which causes them to turn around in the air, which are obviously banned. Thus, you can move backwards without turning around by rolling and by jumping. And yes, that's it for the whole turnaround aspect, but if I didn't set some save profile ground rules, everybody would just hop into an easy mode New Game Plus with the most maxed out spirit team in Olimar, because we all know he's the real god of Smash this time around. No. Here are my rules. New game, hard difficulty. You may use spirits, but only ones picked up in this save profile of World of Light. No summoning, no spirit board, nothing. Unless you use SP shops found throughout World of Light, I guess, as long as you've unlocked them in the run you're going through. And the only allowed level up method is through battle, not by feeding it snacks or cores. Basically, spirit choice really matters this time around, as does routing, which is already taken care of. Just take whatever route you want through the game, but remember to adhere to those rules and you're golden. Once we boot up the game, I noticed something immediately. I kept all of my spirits throughout the game when I entered the save file. One thing I would do to avoid this in the future is to either keep a close eye on the Smoky Prog and Eevee spirits, as they are the first support and primary spirits you obtain and will serve as bookmarks for you, or make a new user on your Switch system and not have to worry about that. As we finally get into gameplay, sorry about all that rule setting, we immediately run into some major problems. We start off the fight and notice that although this fight is pretty easy, sometimes you get launched off stage with your back facing the ledge, and with Kirby especially, being a multi-jumper and subsequently a mid-air jump turner, recovery becomes a lot more difficult as B reverses are also banned, and with the inclusion of the problem surrounding the reduced ledge grab range of a character facing away from the ledge, you have yourself a tricky situation. This happens more often than you would think, but thank God for directional air dodges. Thankfully, so far I've found that directional air dodges don't change the player's orientation at all. Set opens this up for us a lot better. With our newfound knowledge under our belt, we can progress through the next battles with some ease, gaining a ragtag team of Eevee, Smoky Prog, and Celeste spirits. After the smoke clears, we are faced against Mario, the first unlockable character, and I wasn't anticipating much difficulty. We find here that character unlocks are actually surprisingly difficult, especially with our crappy 1-star spirit build. We're going to need to change that quickly. Thankfully, after we beat Mario, we get to face the very useful Guardian Spirit. With Mario, this fight was no trouble at all because we finally have projectiles with us, and also the forward air was very useful and dealt a good deal of damage. At the crossroads, I chose Villager, as he was the only one I can play. Don't judge, Martha's a good character, but I just understand Villager more. Therefore, I killed the Villager, and now we truly have the ball rolling. Villager's side special and aerials are great projectiles, and his back air doesn't turn him around, so like I said, very useful. After Villager, we find Tronbone, or Tronbon, I'm not exactly sure how to say that, a spirit that finally has 2 stars to its name. Oh yeah, now we're getting spirits. I recommend not using Kirby for most upcoming fights, as he doesn't have many projectiles and he has less aerial mobility than most, save for verticality. We can get through most of the other fights fairly worry-free, but I'll just bring up the Octoling fight. This is just annoying to deal with, nothing more. With Villager, you should be fine spamming Lloyd Rocket and forward back air at ledge. Yeah, it'll be fine. I also grabbed Lilina, but just because I wanted to. You don't have to. Jury is basically Smash 4, and Pico is hard to grasp at first, but use Mario and just steal his gun. Don't be afraid to rush in and meet him up, because he probably won't use anything but his gun for the greater half of the start of the battle. Wheezing, being a poison cloud fight, does require liberal projectile spamming, but again, nobody we're fighting now is harder than a 2-star, so just be persistent. You could probably see where this is going. The rest of the battles we face are pretty easy, in fact. There are 2 I would like to brush on, however, Goomba and Boom Boom. There's just a lot of DKs to keep track of, and it's the first of many horde battles we're facing, so just be relentless. Use Mario against Boom Boom, as his uppy has weird properties that cause a squirrel to sustain tremendous knockback for some reason. Along the way, make sure not to miss Lucario. He becomes important. Trust me. Upon entering the Molten Fortress, we aren't faced with anything really difficult until we get a little ways into the junction between Twin Bellows, Ho-Oh, and Leaf. Remember this, it also becomes important. I took Twin Bellows because he was the easiest to defeat out of the bunch. I then progressed through the castle. Groudon was no problem, and just a heads up before taking on Boulder, I recommend equipping Shadow Man. Killing Edge becomes very useful, especially against Ridley. Just don't drop it. Please. After this, pick up your illegal snacks from the chest and prepare to face Giga Bowser. I thought he would cause me a bit of grief going into this, and oh, I was so wrong. Point of advice. First, obviously don't pick Kirby. He's stupid. Second, I quickly learned not to use Mario due to lack of range besides the measly Fireball. I was stuck using Villager, which didn't add any strong results. Then I remembered something. Lucario, who's a character I don't play, has a mechanic called Aura. This causes his attacks to grow stronger and a few of his hitboxes larger. Judging by the facts that I regularly sustain over 150% of damage per battle, I knew this would be it. I also set it on the Spirit Team Lina, Fei Long, and Smokey Prog. Eventually, after about an hour, I finally got halfway. There was something I was missing. I knew it. So I called my friend over to help me with this major issue. We played with this spirit build and with Lucario for about 45 minutes more, reaching almost the 2-hour mark when he said to me the following. You know, you don't have to do this now. You could just come back after finding better spirits to play with, like a legendary or something. Then I remembered a supposedly minor detail that I forgot about. Leaf. I instantly quit fighting Giga Bowser, hightailed it over to Leaf's battle, and began to fight him. It took a second cut from Kirby, but eventually it was done. I returned and faced my nemesis once more. Now, because I feel like you could use them, tips on fighting Giga Bowser. First, since you start with a Unira, as I recommend you continue to use Fei Long and Unira thing, Smokey Prog, that's what it's called, throw it immediately. This will cause the monster to sustain massive damage and start you on your way. Most of the battle will consist of you as Lucario spamming Aura Sphere from far away. Allow yourself to take damage from his Fire Breath, as it causes no real knockback and quickly builds Aura, which amplifies Lucario's strength by 2.5 times at 190%. Whenever he gets near you, jump over him and prepare to react quickly with either an air dodge or a counter. Just make sure to keep facing the same way when you counter, please. It'll save you so much grief. Seriously, this fiend has caught me with more up tilts than I care to say here. If he does nothing, use back air, and then if you have time, and if you have enough time only, throw out a quick down smash. Rinse and repeat, and don't get hit once save for his Fire Breath, or you're basically dead unless you're at around 50%, and even then, some attacks are still strong enough to kill. Eventually, after you learn that most attacks one-hit shield break, and after suffering some Unira jank, you finally get to see Giga Bowser die. This took me 2.5 hours spammed over 2 days of gameplay. Seriously, prepare yourself before this one and use all the tactics I told you about. Also, if Side B is only useful at high percents, use it wisely. Once I killed the doped up Bowser and saw Galeem's shield take a significant hit, I didn't even go for Peach, I was just done. And that's where this episode leaves us. Next, I think we'll retrace our steps and take the fight to Gallium, who I'm not expecting much trouble from. Also, there's a fighter there that I desperately need. I think you'll figure out who. And that'll wrap up this week's episode. Hopefully I can get a video out by next week. I've got a lot of video to record. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.